Now, I mentioned that I was going to mount the jack, and I had no idea that I got something that bolted together. I didn't even look. I just wanted something with a wheel, so I guess that wasn't too difficult to do. I can slide it around wherever I want. So, you know, I wanted to mention one good thing about this style of an A-frame hitch is that it's pre-made for one of the jacks that go straight down into that hole, and it's the bolt pattern's correct to accept one of those. So I could always put one of those on. They're a little bit more expensive, but they're also a lot better. But I like these that flip up because I just have to drop it onto the ball hitch and, you know, raise it up just a little bit, and then I can go ahead and flip it up. I've had this style where it just seems like you're cranking forever, and when it's cold, 20 below zero, and you're doing it, I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's a pain. So, we're pretty much winding down here. Now I have everything made as far as framework goes, and I've got a lot of welding to do. So I'm gonna weld the sides, get all that stuff welded, and then I'm gonna drop my floor in, and that is self-explanatory. I mean, you cut it to fit, and I can talk about when it's in, you know, how much I'd stitch weld it. It's certainly not going to be welded solid, but I'll put a bunch of little stitches all over the place, because the more stitch welding you do, the less banging and clanging you hear behind you. So hopefully we'll be done here shortly, and then comes the worst part for me anyway, which is paint. Not looking forward to painting, but I guess it goes with everything. So okay guys, I just put the steel in the floor and I got it all welded down, and I was just going to give you an idea of how much welding I put down, and you can see I just stitched it. I did about 2 inches every foot, and that is plenty. I mean, we're not talking about anything really for strength here. It's just, but it ties everything together, and here's one thing I wanted to show you. You can see right from the top, you see those little stitch marks right there and there? That's my hitch that I welded from underneath, and you can see that I got good penetration because it really marked up the steel from the top side, and that is something to look for if you're doing welding and you're welding on sheet metal especially, and you don't see that. That means your welds aren't very good. You definitely should be able to see that. Now you can see it in different areas around here where I've welded it on. This is a cross member here, and you can see them. You should be able to see that kind of stuff, because that tells you you're getting good penetration. I use 10 gauge sheet metal on here, but that is plenty heavy duty for this kind of a trailer. The only reason I used it instead of 12 gauge or even maybe 14 gauge is because I got a heck of a deal on it, and it was actually cheaper to buy this from a friend of mine than it would be to order new stuff, so I used it. Anyhow, obviously we'll go over some more stuff. I mean, a lot of guys are going to put wood, plywood, expanded metal, things like that. So okay, here's another view of underneath the trailer, just to give an idea of the cross members. Now I went ahead and I put a stitch there, I put a stitch here, and then on the back side I put a couple of them in the middle. I know it might be kind of hard to see, but basically I have 4 stitches, about 3 inches long on each cross member. So I guess you know, the more the merrier. Like I say, I like to overbuild stuff. But I'd say that's probably, that would be about a minimum that you'd want to do if you're putting sheet metal on, because it ties everything together nicely. The trailer's stronger because of it. It's just and it also, it'll be a lot less rattling going down the road. You won't have metal slapping against metal. That can be annoying. So it's worth the time. If you're doing it, do it before you paint it. Well, the worst part, in my opinion, is over with, the painting. I actually started getting ready to mount my welder in and everything before I realized I forgot to shoot a video of the finished product. So here we go. There's mounted the safety chains. Again, I don't know what's all legal for every state. I know in Minnesota, the DMV likes, you got to have those safety chains that you can hook up to your vehicle, and I can't possibly know what states have what laws, and I just don't even want to venture to guess. The only thing I can say is check with the DMV, or Google it or something and find out. And we definitely want to be legal. I'm not advocating not being legal, but and some trailers also require a side marker light that would be mounted up front here in the front corners. To be honest, I don't even know if that's has to be done in Minnesota or not, but I can always put those on and add it into the wiring that I've already done. So yeah, I guess we're wrapping this thing up. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you got something out of it. You can always get a hold of me by email if you have any other questions, or visit my website. I plan on keep updating it as we make changes, or as we decide to do more designs, or what have you. So I guess we're done for this trailer. Thank you for watching.